So I spent the better part of the last almost 4 years improving my social skills and working on building the social life which I've always wanted to have. And one of the inevitable things which I also had to study about and learn about through this journey of improving my social skills is the whole kind of area of speaking to girls, cold approaching, pickup, game, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, one major part of social skills is also learning how to pick up girls, how to speak to girls, how to go on dates with girls. And I've spent hundreds of hours, I can solidly say hundreds of hours, in reading books, watching YouTube videos, and even some courses on this exact topic. And after all of those hundreds of hours and hundreds of different tips and tricks and methods and analogies and explanations, the biggest lesson that I've taken away from all of that study is that studying, doing, kind of watching those kinds of videos like this one, or reading the book, or paying for the course, will not get you girls. Simply put, what will get you girls is going out and speaking to girls, going out and actually using, or going out into the real world and actually being social. Because what I've learned through all of this time is that most of the information that you learn from these sources probably won't even be very useful to you. Because, at least from my point of view and at least from my experience, my situation, probably your situation, is far too specific in order to have some YouTube video or some YouTuber be able to cover it well enough for you to be able to actually go and use it to get any actual progress in this. What I mean by that is, for example, on average, what does your average pickup YouTuber look like? If we're talking about YouTube videos, right? Books are slightly different, but in basically the same sense. What does your average pickup YouTuber look like? He probably lives in some big city in America, New York, maybe LA. He's probably maybe tall or goes to the gym, he's kind of fit. He might not be the most attractive guy, but he's also not the least attractive guy, maybe something in the middle. And he will teach you about lessons and tips that he uses and which are useful to him. Stuff like go out in the street and use this pickup line and walk around with this body language and do this thing and go on dates like this and do this. And that works for girls in his area, in his country, in his kind of culture. But there's so many of us guys who live in such different places and situations where you can't just use the tip that that guy who lives in New York gave you. Like, you might live in a completely different country, with a completely different religion, where people might have a different kind of way of thinking. You might live in like a small community where everyone knows everyone else and you never really leave. And so how are you gonna use their usual pickup advice, which consists of you walk up, you ask for their Instagram, then you go on a date, when it's like you know every single girl from your area and you basically never leave your area, right? Now instantly, when you're in a situation like that, all of these tips and tricks that the YouTubers are selling to you, all of a sudden they don't work. Because now it's not about picking up some random girl you see on the street. Now you gotta learn how to pick up this girl who you maybe known for a few months or years, right? And that's not something that you're generally gonna be seeing and learning about in these kinds of pickup videos and books. And even if you do, again, it's never gonna be specific enough to your specific situation to really be able to help you. What I learned, which is the best thing which helped me and which has actually gotten me progress, was literally just turning off my brain, thinking on my feet, and just throwing myself in these situations. Maybe I'm at a party, maybe I'm at a get together with friends and there's some girls over. Instead of spending time thinking, which I've had situations like this and they got me nowhere, instead of spending time thinking, what was that tip that I learned from that book or the YouTube video? What did the guy say? Like, what should I talk about? How should I act? You know, the times which actually worked, which actually made some progress, was when I would turn off my brain, kind of turn off that thinking, that part of my brain where I'm kind of trying to like remember some information, and I would just kind of wing it. I would think on my feet. I would say what I feel. I would talk about what I want to talk about. I would act in the way that I want to act. And that was the times when I had not just the best results, but also I was the most confident, and it just felt the most fun to go and speak to girls and try to pick them up and get their numbers and whatever. And through that, through having those experiences, I've learned more than I've learned from hundreds of hours of these YouTube videos and books. Sure, it's nice sometimes to watch a video like this one or similar to this one, and then the guy tells you, like, if you wanna, get a girl's number, you ask her in this specific way, and then you go and you use it, and it's kind of nice. But that's for like one small tip, maybe a few small tips that you can kind of use here and there. But if we're talking about building the entire picture of you, from you sitting at home alone to, let's say, getting a girl over to your place, right? That entire kind of, all of the kind of, let's say, moves in that chess game. Watching YouTube videos like this will never get you the entire way there. They'll tell you some tips and tricks, but unless you've already gone and experienced things yourself and learned things yourself, you will not get from point A to point B fully. You will not do them through these videos. You will not do them through books, through courses. The only way that you will really get it, and the only way where you will really learn it, is by going out, speaking to more girls, throwing yourself into these situations, and after each one kind of having a bit of a thought to yourself, like, what kind of went wrong there? What could I have done better? What can I do better next time? And what mistake did I make that I won't repeat next time? This is the mindset and the way of thinking and the way of doing things, which actually got me to make more progress in a shorter amount of time than I ever could have done from just watching, again, these types of YouTube videos and books. As fun as they can be and as productive as you might feel when you watch a video and the guy tells you some nice tip and you remember it and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go and use it. It's a nice feeling it gives you, but it doesn't give you results. So if you want results, you gotta go and you gotta gather them yourself in the real world. If you want to improve your communication skills very quickly and you want to learn the best information that I've learned on this topic in the last almost 4 years that I've been studying it, kind of putting myself out into the field and trying different things and learning about it, then you can check out the first link in the description. It will take you to my course, which is where I've created like this full protocol which will bring you your dream social life in the shortest time possible. If you like this video, I think you'll find a lot of value in this video right here. Click on the subscribe button and do the work.